Georgia, a country in the Caucasus region, situated at the crossroads of Eastern Europe and Western Asia, known for its Black Sea coast, the Caucasus Mountains, ancient wine culture, and capital city Tbilisi with its historic old town. A former Soviet republic, it regained independence in 1991 and has a rich, complex history, blending European and Asian influences in its culture, food, and architecture, while currently navigating geopolitical dynamics and aspirations for closer ties with the West. Georgia is a country in Transcaucasia, located east of the Black Sea, on the southern flanks of the Greater Caucasus Mountains. It borders Russia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Turkey. Tbilisi is its capital. The Georgian people have ancient roots and a rich cultural heritage. A powerful Georgian kingdom existed in the Middle Ages, but after Turkish and Persian domination, it was annexed by the Russian Empire in the 19th century. It was independent from 1918 to 1921 before joining the Soviet Union. Georgia declared independence on April 9, 1991. Georgia is a country in Transcaucasia, located at the eastern end of the Black Sea, on the southern flanks of the Greater Caucasus Mountains. It is bordered to the north and northeast by Russia, to the east and southeast by Azerbaijan, to the south by Armenia and Turkey, and to the west by the Black Sea. The capital of Georgia is Tbilisi. The rugged terrain of Georgia includes the subtropical Black Sea shores and the ice and snow of the crest line of the Caucasus. The Caucasus Barrier protects Georgia from cold air intrusions from the north, while the country is open to the constant influence of warm, moist air from the Black Sea. Georgia is a country in the Caucasus region on the coast of the Black Sea. It is located at the intersection of Eastern Europe and West Asia and is today generally regarded as part of Europe. It is bordered to the north and northeast by Russia, to the west by the Black Sea, to the south by Turkey and Armenia, and to the southeast by Azerbaijan. Georgia covers an area of 69,700 square kilometers, 26,900 square miles. It has a population of 3.9 million, of which over a third live in the capital and largest city, Tbilisi. Ethnic Georgians, who are native to the region, constitute a majority of the country's population and are its titular nation. Georgia has been inhabited since prehistory, hosting the world's earliest known sites of winemaking, gold mining, and textiles. The classical era saw the emergence of several kingdoms, such as Chalkis and Iberia, that formed the nucleus of the modern Georgian state. In the early 4th century, Georgians officially adopted Christianity, which contributed to their unification under the Kingdom of Georgia. Georgia reached its golden age during the High Middle Ages under the reigns of King David IV and Queen Tamar. Beginning in the 15th century, the kingdom declined and disintegrated due to internal discord and pressure from various regional powers, including the Mongols, the Ottoman Empire, and Persia, before being gradually annexed into the Russian Empire starting in 1801. After the Russian Revolution in 1917, Georgia briefly emerged as an independent republic under German protection. However, the country was invaded and annexed by the Red Army in 1921, it then became one of the republics of the Soviet Union. In the 1980s, an independence movement grew quickly, leading to Georgia's secession from the Soviet Union in April 1991. For much of the subsequent decade, the country endured economic crises, political instability, and secessionist wars in Abkhazia and South Ossetia. Following the peaceful Rose Revolution in 2003, Georgia strongly pursued a pro-Western foreign policy, introducing a series of reforms aimed at integration into the European Union and NATO. This Western orientation led to worsening relations with Russia, culminating in the Russo-Georgian War of 2008 and continued Russian occupation of parts of Georgia. Georgia is a representative democracy governed as a unitary parliamentary republic. It is a developing country with a very high Human Development Index and an emerging market economy. Sweeping economic reforms since 2003 have resulted in one of the freest business climates in the world, greater economic freedom and transparency, and among the fastest rates of GDP growth. In 2018, Georgia became the second country to legalize cannabis, and the first former socialist state to do so. Georgia is a member of numerous international organizations, including the Council of Europe, Eurocontrol, BSEC, Guam, and Energy Community. As part of the association trio, Georgia is an official candidate for membership in the European Union. Since October 2024, Georgia has been immersed in a deep political crisis. Georgia, located at the crossroads of Eastern Europe and Western Asia, is a country of rich history, diverse landscapes, and vibrant culture. It is bordered by Russia to the north, Turkey and Armenia to the south, Azerbaijan to the southeast, and the Black Sea to the west. Despite its relatively small size, Georgia has played a pivotal role in the history of the Caucasus region due to its strategic location along ancient trade routes such as the Silk Road. The capital city, Tbilisi, serves as the political, cultural, and economic heart of the country. Georgia is often described as a bridge between East and West, reflected in its architecture, cuisine, language, and traditions. This essay will explore the country's geography, history, political system, economy, culture, religion, and tourism, providing a comprehensive view of this unique nation. Georgia is defined by its dramatic landscapes, which range from subtropical lowlands along the Black Sea to the towering peaks of the Greater Caucasus Mountains. Its climate varies from humid subtropical in the west to continental in the east, creating rich biodiversity. The Greater Caucasus Mountains in the north contain some of the highest peaks in Europe, including Shkara, which rises to 5,193 meters. The Lesser Caucasus Mountains dominate the southern regions, forming natural borders with Armenia and Azerbaijan. Major rivers, including the Mtveri, Ryani, and Alazani, play a crucial role in agriculture, hydroelectric power, and transportation, while lakes such as Lake Ritsa and Lake Paravani add to the country's natural beauty. Georgia is divided into 9 historical regions, including Kakheti, famous for its wine, as well as Imereti, Adjara, and Svainti, each with distinct landscapes, climates, and cultural traditions. The country's geography has influenced its history and culture, providing both natural defenses against invaders and fertile valleys for agriculture. Georgia has a long and complex history dating back to ancient times. Archaeological evidence shows human settlements as early as the Paleolithic period, and the country's strategic location made it a hub of cultural exchange. In ancient times, Georgia was home to the kingdoms of Colchis and Iberia, known in Greek mythology as the land of the Golden Fleece. These kingdoms established trade routes and early state structures that shaped the region for centuries. Georgia adopted Christianity in 337 AD, becoming one of the oldest Christian nations in the world. During the medieval period, the unified kingdom of Georgia under King David IV, known as David the Builder, and later under Queen Tamar, became renowned for its military successes, cultural achievements, and architectural innovations. From the 16th century onward, Georgia faced repeated invasions by Persians, Ottomans, and later Russians. The eastern kingdom of Kartli Kakheti was annexed by the Russian Empire in 1801, marking the start of centuries of Russian influence. Georgia briefly declared independence after the Russian Revolution in 1918 but was incorporated into the Soviet Union in 1921. It regained independence in 1991 after the collapse of the USSR. Since independence, Georgia has experienced civil unrest, separatist conflicts in Abkhazia and South Ossetia, and efforts to integrate with European institutions while balancing relations with Russia. Georgia is a unitary parliamentary republic. Its political system has undergone significant reforms since independence. The 2018 constitutional amendments strengthened the parliament and reduced the powers of the president, making Georgia a fully parliamentary republic. The Prime Minister serves as the head of government, while the President is largely ceremonial. The Parliament, which is unicameral, is responsible for legislation. Georgia faces challenges including corruption, political polarization, and unresolved territorial disputes. Its ambitions to join NATO and the European Union are central to its foreign policy, but these efforts are complicated by Russian influence in the region. Georgia's economy is classified as upper middle income and has benefited from significant reforms since the early 2000s. Fertile soils in regions like Kakheti support wine production, citrus fruits, and tea, and Georgia is internationally renowned for its winemaking tradition, which dates back over 8,000 years. Tourism has grown rapidly, drawing visitors to Tbilisi, Batumi, the Caucasus Mountains, and historical sites such as the cave city of Tbilisi. Hydroelectric power is a major source of energy, and industries include mining, steel production, and food processing. Georgia's strategic location and free trade agreements with the European Union, China, and several CIS countries make it a key transit hub in the region, enhancing its economic potential. Georgian culture is a unique blend of European, Middle Eastern, and indigenous Caucasian influences. The Georgian language, part of the Kartvelian language family, has its own unique script and plays a central role in national identity. Georgian literature dates back to the 5th century, with works such as The Knight in the Panther's Skin by Shota Rustaveli representing the golden age of Georgian literature. Traditional polyphonic singing is recognized by UNESCO, and folk dances often depict historical battles, agricultural rituals, and social celebrations. Georgian cuisine is famous for dishes such as kakapuri, cheese-filled bread, and khinkali, dumplings typically shared communally. Meals are often accompanied by a traditional toast led by a tamada, or toastmaster, reflecting the importance of social cohesion and celebration in Georgian culture. Christianity plays a central role in Georgian society. The Georgian Orthodox Church is autocephalous, meaning it governs itself independently from other Orthodox churches. Iconic churches such as the Svititsk-Huvli Cathedral in Mskita and the Gurjiti Trinity Church near Mount Kazbek exemplify the country's rich religious heritage. While the majority of the population is Orthodox Christian, Georgia is home to Muslim, Armenian Apostolic, and Jewish communities, reflecting its historical diversity and long-standing traditions of religious tolerance. Tourism has become an important part of Georgia's economy. The capital, Tbilisi, is known for its blend of medieval and modern architecture, sulfur baths, and vibrant arts scene. Batumi, located on the Black Sea, is a resort city famous for its beaches, botanical gardens, and contemporary architecture. Historical sites such as Tbilisi, Varja, and the monasteries of David Garaja showcase Georgia's ancient architecture and long history. Natural landscapes, including the Caucasus Mountains, the Svainti Towers, and national parks such as Borhomi Karagauli, attract hikers and adventure travelers, highlighting Georgia's unique combination of natural beauty and cultural heritage. Georgia faces several challenges as it seeks to consolidate its democracy and develop economically. The regions of Abkhazia and South Ossetia remain under Russian influence, limiting government control. Despite economic growth, income inequality and unemployment remain pressing issues. The country must also balance its relationships with Russia, the European Union, and the United States, requiring careful diplomatic maneuvering. Nevertheless, Georgia's rich cultural heritage, strategic location, and resilient population provide a strong foundation for future growth. Its ongoing reforms, development of tourism, and integration into global markets suggest a promising trajectory for the nation. Georgia's history is not only long but also remarkably complex, shaped by its position between powerful empires. Its earliest known civilizations, the kingdoms of Chalkis and Iberia, established trade and cultural ties with neighboring regions. Chalkis, on the western Black Sea coast, is famously connected to Greek mythology as the destination of Jason and the Argonauts in pursuit of the Golden Fleece. This reflects Georgia's early integration into the broader networks of the ancient world, where commerce and myth intertwined. Iberia, in the eastern part of modern Georgia, developed a sophisticated political structure and cultivated close relationships with the Roman and Byzantine empires. These early interactions allowed Georgia to adopt innovations in governance, religion, and architecture long before many neighboring regions. The adoption of Christianity in 337 AD marked a turning point in Georgia's history, anchoring the nation in European religious and cultural traditions. Christianity helped unify the fragmented kingdoms and became a central element of Georgian identity. Over the centuries, Georgia's monasteries, churches, and religious art became a cornerstone of its cultural legacy. The medieval period, especially under King David IV and Queen Tamar, represents Georgia's golden age, a time of political strength, military victories, and remarkable cultural production. Georgian architecture flourished with the construction of fortresses, cathedrals, and churches, while literature and scholarship thrived, producing works that continue to influence Georgian society today. Foreign domination has been a recurring theme in Georgian history. From the 16th century onward, Persia and the Ottoman Empire repeatedly sought to exert influence over Georgian lands. The eastern kingdom of Kartli eventually fell under Russian rule in 1801, initiating a period of both modernization and loss of sovereignty. Russian imperial policies brought infrastructure development and integration into broader Eurasian trade networks, but also fueled tensions between the local population and foreign rulers. Georgia's brief independence in 1918 demonstrated the nation's enduring desire for self-determination, though this period was short-lived due to Soviet annexation in 1921. During the Soviet era, Georgia experienced industrialization and urbanization, but also political repression and the erosion of traditional cultural practices. The restoration of independence in 1991 ushered in a new era of democratic reform and nation-building, albeit accompanied by civil unrest and separatist conflicts. Georgia's population is approximately 3.7 million, and its demographic structure reflects both historical continuity and modern change. Ethnic Georgians make up the majority, while minorities such as Armenians, Azerbaijanis, Russians, and Abkhazians contribute to the country's cultural diversity. Urbanization is most pronounced in Tbilisi, the capital, which functions as a magnet for internal migration, economic opportunity, and cultural innovation. Rural areas, especially in mountainous regions like Svainti and Tusheti, maintain traditional lifestyles, preserving ancient languages, customs, and architectural styles. Family and community remain central to Georgian society. Multi-generational households are common, and social gatherings are often centered around shared meals and traditional rituals. The role of the tamada, or toastmaster, highlights the importance of oral tradition, storytelling, and communal bonds. Education and literacy rates are high, reflecting Georgia's historical emphasis on learning and culture, though economic disparities continue to affect access to higher education in rural areas. The Georgian language is unique both linguistically and culturally. It belongs to the Kartvelian language family, which is distinct from Indo-European and Turkic languages that dominate neighboring regions. Georgian uses its own script, an alphabet of 33 letters, which has been in continuous use for over a millennium. Language serves as a powerful symbol of national identity, particularly during periods of foreign domination when the preservation of Georgian literature, music, and religious texts became acts of resistance. Literature, music, and folklore continue to reinforce a shared sense of heritage, while modern Georgian culture also integrates global influences, reflecting the country's position at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. Georgian arts are characterized by a blend of tradition and innovation. Polyphonic singing, recognized by UNESCO, remains a vital aspect of cultural expression, with performances reflecting historical themes, social customs, and religious devotion. Dance is equally important, often dramatizing historic battles, courtship, and daily life through stylized movements and costumes. Georgian literature has a deep and enduring legacy. The Knight in the Panther's Skin, written by Shota Rustaveli in the 12th century, exemplifies the fusion of chivalric ideals, philosophical reflection, and poetic artistry, and is still celebrated as a national treasure. Contemporary Georgian writers, musicians, and filmmakers continue to explore themes of identity, resilience, and cultural memory, bridging traditional forms with modern global narratives. Georgia's economy has undergone significant transformation in recent decades. Transitioning from a Soviet-era planned economy to a market-based system required extensive reforms, privatization, and anti-corruption measures. Agriculture remains a foundational sector, particularly in regions such as Kakheti, where viticulture thrives. Winemaking is not only an economic activity but also a cultural emblem, linking modern Georgia to a viticultural heritage that spans millennia. Tourism has emerged as a major economic driver, attracting visitors to historic cities, mountain resorts, and coastal destinations. The development of infrastructure, including airports, highways, and hotels, has strengthened the tourism sector, generating employment and promoting regional development. Industrial sectors, particularly energy, mining, and food processing, contribute to economic diversification. Hydroelectric power plays a central role in Georgia's energy strategy, leveraging the country's mountainous terrain and abundant rivers. Strategic trade agreements with the European Union, China, and neighboring countries enhance Georgia's position as a regional transit hub, facilitating the flow of goods and services across the Caucasus. Georgia's geopolitical position presents both opportunities and challenges. Its location between Europe and Asia makes it a natural corridor for trade, energy transit, and cultural exchange, but also exposes it to regional power struggles. Relations with Russia remain tense, particularly regarding the territories of Abkhazia and South Ossetia, which are under Russian influence. At the same time, Georgia pursues closer ties with the European Union and NATO, seeking integration into Euro-Atlantic structures while balancing regional security concerns. The country's foreign policy reflects a pragmatic approach to diplomacy, combining efforts to attract investment, strengthen defense, and maintain cultural and historical ties across borders. Georgia's landscapes, from the Black Sea coast to the snow-capped Caucasus peaks, offer unparalleled opportunities for tourism and conservation. Historical sites such as Uplitsik, Varja, and the monasteries of David Garaja provide insight into Georgia's rich architectural and religious history. National parks, including Borhomi Karagouli, Lagodeka, and Tusheti, preserve biodiversity, protect ecosystems, and attract eco-tourists and hikers. Adventure tourism, including skiing, trekking, and mountain climbing, is growing rapidly, bringing international attention to Georgia's natural beauty. Conservation efforts aim to balance tourism with environmental protection, ensuring that Georgia's landscapes and wildlife endure for future generations. Education has long been a cornerstone of Georgian society, dating back to the establishment of early monastic schools and academies during the medieval period. Literacy and scholarship were closely tied to the church, with religious texts, chronicles, and philosophical works forming the foundation of intellectual life. In modern Georgia, education is highly valued and widely accessible, with literacy rates exceeding 99%. The system includes primary, secondary, and tertiary education, with universities such as Tbilisi State University and Ilia State University fostering research, innovation, and cultural studies. Georgian students pursue studies in diverse fields, including literature, engineering, medicine, and the natural sciences, reflecting the country's blend of traditional scholarship and modern academic development. Despite these advances, rural areas sometimes face challenges in access to high-quality education, particularly in mountainous regions where schools are limited and resources scarce. The government and private sector have increasingly focused on educational reform, digital literacy, and scholarship programs to bridge these gaps and ensure that all young Georgians can participate in the knowledge economy. Healthcare in Georgia has undergone significant transformation since independence. The Soviet-era system, which provided universal coverage, was gradually replaced with a mixed model combining public and private services. Modern hospitals and clinics are concentrated in urban areas, while rural communities often rely on smaller regional facilities. Public health campaigns focus on preventive care, vaccination programs, and chronic disease management. The government has implemented reforms to improve accessibility and affordability, though disparities remain between urban and rural populations. Social services extend beyond healthcare to include programs aimed at reducing poverty, supporting vulnerable families, and promoting employment. Non-governmental organizations and international partnerships have contributed to strengthening social welfare, particularly in regions affected by conflict or economic hardship. While challenges persist, Georgia continues to prioritize the health and well-being of its citizens as part of its broader nation-building efforts. Georgian culture is rich with traditions that remain alive in contemporary society. Festivals, rituals, and family gatherings are central to daily life. Religious holidays such as Easter and Christmas are celebrated with distinctive local customs, including communal feasts and ceremonial dances. Folk music and dance are integral to both celebrations and storytelling, with polyphonic singing conveying complex emotional narratives and historical events. The culinary arts also reflect Georgia's cultural heritage. Meals are communal affairs, often lasting several hours and featuring multiple courses. Kakapuri, a cheese-filled bread, and khinkali, spiced dumplings, are staples, accompanied by locally produced wines. Winemaking itself is both a tradition and a cultural symbol, with techniques passed down through generations. Regional variations in cuisine, clothing, and craft reflect Georgia's diverse geography and historical influences, from the Black Sea coast to the highland villages of Svainti and Tusheti. Georgia faces a series of modern challenges as it continues its development. Political polarization and tensions with Russia over Abkhazia and South Ossetia remain significant sources of instability. Economic inequality, unemployment, and rural depopulation present social and demographic hurdles. The country also contends with environmental issues, including deforestation, water management, and pollution in urban centers. Despite these challenges, Georgia has made substantial progress in strengthening democracy, modernizing infrastructure, and expanding international cooperation. Reforms in governance, the judiciary, and anti-corruption initiatives have improved transparency and public trust. Investment in renewable energy, transportation, and technology aims to diversify the economy and reduce reliance on traditional sectors. Social programs increasingly address gender equality, youth empowerment, and minority inclusion, reflecting a commitment to a more equitable society. Tourism not only drives economic growth but also serves as a form of cultural diplomacy, introducing visitors to Georgia's rich history and traditions. Tourists are drawn to Tbilisi for its historic districts, art galleries, and bathhouses, while coastal cities like Batumi attract visitors with modern architecture, beaches, and vibrant nightlife. Adventure tourism in the Caucasus Mountains, including trekking, skiing, and mountaineering, highlights Georgia's natural beauty. Cultural festivals, wine tastings, and culinary tours allow international visitors to engage deeply with Georgian heritage, fostering understanding and appreciation for the country's unique identity. Georgia's cultural diplomacy extends beyond tourism. International exchanges, film festivals, art exhibitions, and academic collaborations strengthen ties with other countries while promoting the nation's history and achievements. These efforts position Georgia as both a modern, globally engaged nation and a guardian of ancient traditions. Georgia's future depends on its ability to balance tradition with modernization, national identity with international engagement, and economic growth with social equity. Strategic development in sectors such as technology, energy, and tourism promises to enhance economic resilience. Education reforms, social programs, and healthcare initiatives support human capital development, ensuring that citizens can contribute to national progress. Efforts to resolve regional conflicts, strengthen democratic institutions, and deepen international partnerships are central to securing Georgia's political stability and global standing. The resilience of the Georgian people, their attachment to culture and heritage, and the country's strategic location all contribute to a promising outlook. While challenges remain, Georgia's commitment to preserving its identity while embracing innovation suggests a dynamic and sustainable path forward. Georgia is a nation defined by contrasts and intersections, mountains and seas, ancient and modern, East and West. Its history is a testament to resilience in the face of invasions, foreign domination, and political upheaval, while its culture reflects a rich tapestry of religion, art, language, and tradition. Modern Georgia continues to navigate complex economic, social, and geopolitical landscapes, demonstrating adaptability and vision. From the medieval churches of Msketa to the bustling streets of Tbilisi, from the snow-capped peaks of the Caucasus to the fertile vineyards of Kakheti, Georgia offers a unique blend of natural beauty, historical depth, and cultural richness. Its people, proud of their heritage yet forward-looking, ensure that Georgia remains a vibrant and dynamic nation. As it pursues modernization, international integration, and social development, Georgia stands as a living testament to the enduring power of culture, resilience, and identity at the crossroads of continents. Georgia is a country of contrasts, where mountains meet the sea, ancient traditions coexist with modern innovation, and Eastern and Western influences intertwine. Its long history, unique culture, and strategic location make it a fascinating study in resilience and identity. As Georgia continues to navigate political, economic, and social challenges, it remains a vibrant nation with a rich heritage and a promising future. Its combination of natural beauty, historic sites, and cultural depth ensures that Georgia will continue to captivate scholars, travelers, and historians alike. Thank you for watching this video.